So we've now moved on to the inside of the base camp. We've connected the electric on the outside, we've connected the gas, we've got the water into situ, and there's room for the battery in the battery compartment, which we'll just edit in now. The leisure battery compartment is just underneath of the left hand seat, the near side front seat, and there is 3 screws that hold that into position, or 4 screws, sorry. There is one just at the back there, another one, third one, and the 4th one. That just pulls out, and then there is the compartment there then for the leisure battery. I think they're 12 or 13 mil nuts that hold the little strap bar into place, and then you can just take that off, drop the battery in, and that will go into there. It does have the solar panel as well that will charge that up and run sort of as well as the battery. So that shows you where the battery goes if you want to put a battery into position. On testing, we've not got a battery on, so we're plugged into the mains electric and we're running through the charger unit. So main power up button is the on, and that will turn the main display on, put 12 volt into the Caravan. You may have heard a bit of a whirring noise there with the heater just clearing up, basically just making sure that that's working okay. So that's perfectly normal to hear that initial whir. Now going through the buttons, we've got control buttons here, which are more for different settings, and it's probably easier to look in the manual for the whole sort of setting the time up. It is quite detailed, but it is in the manual. If you want to change the time, you can change different settings around in there as well. But for the basic operation, we've got your power on and off. The little lightning strike up in the top there, that's telling us that we've got power connected, so the 230 is plugged in. So if you hadn't got that on there, that would basically be saying that there's no 230 volt plugged in. So if you have got 230 volt plugged in, just make sure that the breaker that you're running off, if it's from the house, make sure the cable's okay. Make sure if you're on site that the site connection hasn't tripped out, because when we're plugged into 230, that is going to tell us that we have got power coming into the Caravan. Moving on to the left hand side, we've got the little tap symbol is for the water pump. Now again, if you're first coming into the Caravan and you've been out or you're just setting up, one thing that you want to make sure is just double check all the taps are closed before you put that on, otherwise you're just going to end up wasting water. So we can pop that on because we know that we're okay, and we've checked all of the taps are closed. We've then got main lights on. We've then got the dimmable lights on, and the top one is actually awning light. So we've put everything into the on position. You'll see at the bottom here we say dimmer level. So the dimmer lights, which are sort of around the cabinets, underneath some of the cabinets, you can actually dim those down and alter the dimmability of those. All the other lights, the sort of spotlights around there, I've got little individual switches on. There's 2 strip lights in the bathroom that have got their own individual switches on, and then we have got separate switches as well for the awning light, even though we've got it above the door. Just at the side of the oven here, we've got another switch that will put the awning light on and off. So if you put the one on above the door on the panel and the awning light's not come on, just try the little switch here. And then just at the side by the bed section, we've got the other light switches here, which again will turn off the dimmable lights if they're not working. Just pop those on and the dimmed lights will come on as well. So we've connected the gas, as I say. We've got all the power on, so all of our igniters will now work. So we will normally, if we're just coming into the Caravan, just first set up and we're going to pull the gas through the system, we'd use the hob. Doesn't matter which one we light up first. I'll turn the control dial. As I press it down, you'll hear the igniter clicking, and then that will light. We can then turn that up and down. All of the other gas then is exactly the same. And as we turn that off, when it's in his service, he'll have made sure all the flame failure devices are working, and you'll hear a little click in about 20. There we go. So that little click is telling us that the flame failure devices on each individual item are working correctly. Light up then for the grill and the oven itself has got its own individual little igniter just on the side. So we pop it to the high flame, hit the igniter, and that should light up. And again, we can adjust that then to the low and the high setting. Inside of there, we've got our grill pan and the grill pan handle. And then for the oven, exactly the same. If we turn the control knob round, I normally turn it to the highest setting, hold that in, hit the igniter, and the flame will light up at the back. Now, as we control the temperature dial, as I turn that up and down, it won't actually make any difference to the size of the flame. Like older ovens, they used to go up and down as you move the control dial. Because it's all thermostatically controlled now, it will get up to temperature and then it will drop down, and again on his service he's checked all that for you. We've got then the fridge, three-way fridge, and this is the automatic fridge, so this will automatically sense if you hadn't got gas connected up. It will just automatically go to whatever power supply that we're using. Again, if we were in a field and we hadn't got any 240 or 230 electric, it should automatically sense that we've got the gas. Now the battery symbol, that will only work on the car, so it won't work just off the battery on the Caravan. You do need it connected to the car for the battery to work. Now to turn the fridge on, we hold the on button and we get the display light up. To select if we want to change the setting, we use the top button here, and we can pop that then onto 230. If I pop it onto auto, that will automatically select what power supply is connected. Now when I put it onto battery, because we're not connected onto the car, we get the little warning light. So if you then were to connect it to the car and you've got the 13 pins wired on your vehicle, that will then stop as you start the engine again. Remember, it does need the engine started before that will kick in. And again then back to the gas. Now if we want to set the temperature, if you find that your milk is freezing, we can just hit the temperature dial there and we can change the temperature to as we want it. We'll normally leave it on full maximum temperature while we're doing servicing work. That will just make sure that it's fully freezing down and going down to the correct temperatures. And then to turn that back off, just hold your finger over the off button and that turns that back off. Water system. So again, as I mentioned previously, when we first set up, we've popped the tap symbol on, which tells us that the water pump is now operational and working. We want to make sure that we have got all the taps turned off before we put that pump setting on. And then if we were, you can hear the pump kick in. If we were just setting up and we hadn't run any water through, when we pop the water system on, we want to run it with the hot water tap first, and we need to make sure that we've got the water running through as we are now, At first it may be doing a bit of coughing and spluttering if there's no water in the system. Once it's stopped coughing and spluttering and we're running as we are now, we know then that our hot water tank is full of water, and then we can either run that hot water tank on gas or electric, and we know that we're not going to cause any damage to any of the electronics in that water heater. Now on to the operation of the water heater. Now if we'd drained the Caravan down over winter, just behind this little cupboard here that lights up, or lifts up even, sorry, so just behind this cupboard that lifts up, down by the blown air heating pipe, we've got a shut off valve, a little yellow tap. So the little yellow drain off bung, we've got that in the position there now to run the system. Now if we were to turn that into the upright position, that would drain the water system down. So come to winter, that's going to be our drain off point that we need to drain off with. Now 99% of the time you're not going to need to do anything other than use your drain off switch in the winter. Again, if you're not going to use the Caravan for a few weeks, it's probably worth just draining that fully down, open all the taps up, and that will drain all of the water system back out again. Now we've got two switches on the left hand side here, just here, and the first one is our space heater, and the second one is water heater. Now the water heater one has got the light on, and these will always be left in the on position. In the wardrobe we've got the main master control panel. Now this is the one that's got the charger built into. We've got fuses on this front one, and then we've also got trip switches. So if you ever had anything trip out on the electric, our trip switches are all here, and we've even got a test button. So if you hadn't got the little symbol above the door on that main control panel to say that we've got electric plugged in, at the very first breaker it's got a little yellow switch on it, or a little yellow button. Now you can press that yellow button and the main breaker should trip out, as it has done there. Now that's telling us that the main breaker is first of all working, and secondly that just gives us an extra indication that we have got power coming into the Caravan. So if we ever get it where we're struggling, we can't get any power on in the Caravan, any 230 electrics, just press that little yellow button and that will tell you 100% whether you've got 230 volt electric coming into the Caravan, or whether it's an issue with the supply of the electric coming to the Caravan. Before we can operate our electric heating or water system, we've got to have had the two switches underneath, the two white ones in the on position, and you can leave those on and not have to do anything with them. But then also on the very end of the panel, the yellow switch that you'll see light up now, if we haven't got that yellow one on, our heating system isn't going to work. So we need to make sure that both white ones are on, and also the yellow one in the cupboard, and that then will make sure that we can use our heating system and our hot water. So we've made sure that the water's through the system. All of our hot taps, bathroom, shower and the sink tap, we've got a nice flow of water. We've made sure that our switches underneath are in the on position, underneath the little control panel or the little panel that we've lifted up. So both of those, we will leave that in the on position, so you shouldn't need to touch those ones. The orangey yellow button on the control panel we've pressed on, and that's illuminated. And now just above the seating area we've got our whale control panel, and at the moment in green we've got off for our hot water and off for our heating. Now to operate the water system, we're off at the moment. We'll click it once and it's popping to gas. If I go again, we've got gas and electric. We've then got gas and electric higher setting, and then as we come across we've got electric on the lower setting, electric on the higher setting, and then again gas and electric, so that will warm it up a little bit quicker. So if you're out and about and you want to come back, warm that water up a bit quicker, you can run both. And again, if you want it really quick, so you should have hot water within about 15-20 minutes by running it on the highest setting, which is gas and electric. And then we've also got to say that the boiler's working on the gas, the other little indicator just here, and that's lit up then just to say that that's actually running on the gas system. To turn that back on, it's just go all the way through, click it back and then into the off position, and then we'll see the gas indicator turn off in a second. There we go. And our heating, again, we just toggle through with the heating button, so we're in the off position at the moment. We've then got the gas again. Now you will hear it roar up and the fan kick in, and then on the outside there's a flue which we showed you that was by the water outlets, and you'll feel the gas roaring through there. I do have to turn it up to actually get some heating as well. So the thermostat is on the bottom, and as I turn that right up to the top now, that will kick in and you'll hear it roar up and start to blow through the system. If we want it on electric, so we'll come back, and then again we've got electric on the lower setting. So if you're on a site and we've got a smaller amount of electricity, so you're on a 10 amp site, you may need to run, if you're running everything on electric, your fridge, the water heater and the heating, you may need to run them on the lower settings. So we've got the low setting, mid setting, and then the high setting if we've got all the power that we need, and then the last one again then we're running on the gas. We can then control that down. We've got a night setting which is just going to kick over or tick over on a lower setting and just run through the night, and then as I say, you've got the thermostat there that we can run through. Again, it's going to be a bit of trial and error. You may end up sort of after 15-20 minutes finding that you're getting a bit too hot and you've got to open the windows, so just drop the thermostat down then, and again you'll find a comfortable heat. When we're running on the gas again on this one, we should see in a second that the little indicator, the flame, lights up on the left hand side as well, just to say that that's running on the gas. I'll turn it up, sorry, actually. It is quite a hot day today, so we have got to run that at a higher setting to actually get the heating to kick in. Yeah. So again, it took about 30 seconds, but now the heating on gas has kicked in, and the little flame indicator just there is just indicating that is actually working on the gas for us. Then to turn that back off, again it's just literally into the off position. The fan will run for about 30-45 seconds, so even though you've turned that off, that fan is going to still keep running for a little bit longer. In the wardrobe, you've got the freestanding table. Again, this will go into the front seating area, or if you've put the awning up, you can put that out into the awning as well. It's got its own legs, so they just fold out. So making the front bed now in the Basecamp. first of all, start by folding the table down. Just underneath there's two little catches that just fold out of the way, and then that table will drop down. We can then pull this side out to us, and then the same with the other side, and then we can then position the cushions as so. Again, this is a 2-berth, but that is a king size bed, so even if you've got small children with you, to be fair, I think you'd all get on there quite comfortably. It does make an absolutely huge bed. You may want to configure the cushions to suit you. After the first bad night's sleep, you'll try a few different settings. You may want to turn the cushions over, and again, it's all down to personal preference. Then you may just literally, I find that that's really comfortable as it is, to be fair, but again, you may sort of want to turn the cushions over. It does also just always save the fabric if you catch it in the night or anything like that, so that it probably is advisable to turn them over, but again, personal preference, completely up to you. They are long enough if you sort of if you're travelling through the night and you just want to use them as 2 single beds. You don't have to make the bed up, you can leave them as they are, take the back cushions off, and you've got 2 real good single beds there. If you're really tall, you may find that your legs are going to hang out, but for me that's plenty. Hopefully we've covered everything on the setup and the operation of the Basecamp. We've completed all of the internal service side of it now, so all of our printouts for the CO2 testing, for the boiler, for the fire, for the fridge, and then the actual room CO2, so they're all there. We've logged the service with Swift, so that's all put onto their database to say that everything's all been done, all the damp checks have been done, it's all been serviced to manufacturer's recommendations. There's the full service sheet that will come with the van, and then what we're going to do next is pop it onto the ramp in the workshop. He's going to take all the wheels off, he's going to grease everything all up, lubricate all the points of lubrication, just check everything underneath, and again we'll do a little quick video just to show you what he goes into inside the workshop when he's checking all your tyres, wheels, hubs, bearings, brakes. So again, we will just show you just a little bit of what he does just before you collect it, just to make sure that it's all good for the next 12 months for you. Thanks ever so much. So we've got a 240 socket or a 230 volt socket here. We've got 2 USB charger points, and we have also got a real nifty little 230 plug pull-up socket there as well. To get the operation to these, you have to turn this one on and off, and then again, if you want to drop that back down, press the button in and forwards, and that will just drop back down for travelling. Folding the seats up, again they do fold up quite easily, just moving the back cushions out of the way. These will fold, lock into position, legs fold down. You can then put your cushions just down, or tuck the cushions just in between here if you adjust the straps, so they will store into here also. Again, it's better just to adjust the strap. So I'll adjust the strap up for that, and they will then pop into position, and there is space for the smaller cushion as well. Cassette toilet, again make sure that we've got the cassette in, as we showed you earlier how to empty that. We've got a little indicator here that will light up when that needs emptying, but I'd probably say that when your wastewater container needs emptying, just take the cassette over as well. Save a journey and do two things at once with that. To flush the toilet, it's just literally press the button, and then to open the flap up, again it's open that one, and then to close it, just make sure you go fully back. In the cupboard just above the fridge, above the kitchen area, we've got the solar panel control board as well. There's not anything really that you need to change on there. That will just indicate when you've got a battery on that it's actually putting the power through to the battery, and it will tell you on the control panel above the door. Now there is a full manual. All of Swift's Swift Caravans now don't come with an actual user manual. So all of the Swift manuals are online on their website, and you can download those. So if there's anything that you want more detail on, you're not too sure, or you would like to read through a manual, you can download that from the Swift website. So in the front right hand corner we've got the fuses also for the towing electrics, really, more than anything. So all of your lighting system, etc., and that's running from the 13 pin plug through. So you've got your fridge, your indicators, stop lights, side lights, etc.